Orange Sky Audio presents The Atlantis Riddle, Dan Kotler, Book 2, by Kevin Tumlinson. Narrated for you by Joe Hempel. Prologue. West Orange, New Jersey, December 10th, 1914. Thomas Edison stood on the lawn of his West Orange laboratory and watched the buildings burn. All around him he heard the sounds of the fire brigade, bells clanging, horses clomping as they brought wagons of water and men to the site. There were even some of Ford's automobiles racing forward, skidding to a stop so that men could rush out and add their hands to help fight the blaze. Edison didn't look at them, but instead watched as his life's work literally went up in smoke. 10 buildings filled with his patents, his research, his prototypes, and his finished inventions. The work that he and his people had labored over for decades would soon be only so much ash. He smiled and even chuckled to himself a bit. Local people were gathering now, of course, shuffling out of their homes or places of business. A great number were his own employees, many of whom had been busy working when the klaxons sounded and they were forced to rush outside. Those that had homes close by eventually gathered with their families, if they had them. The rest either rushed to help put out the fire or stood aside gawking in disbelief. Some even wept. Charlie Edison stood not far from his father, amid a cluster of workers and neighbors. He looked so distraught that it almost made Edison burst out laughing. Edison made his way to Charlie, and when he reached him, he said, "Go get your mother and her friends. They'll never see a fire like this again." Charlie looked at him half-dazed. "Papa, it's all burning. All of your work." Edison smiled and shook his head, waving dismissively toward the 10 burning buildings. "It's all right," Edison said. "We've just got rid of a lot of rubbish." Charlie stared at his father, shaking his head unconsciously. Edison knew what his son was thinking. His old man had lost his mind. His life's work burned right in front of him, and Edison stood and watched with a smile on his face. What would this mean to the business? What would it mean to the employees and their families? What would it mean to Edison himself? Edison planned to answer those questions. He knew, as surely as he knew his own name, that they would come. And soon the press would be there, as they had always been there. Edison didn't mind. He actually liked the press. He figured them out years ago. He knew that if he gave them a good enough show, they'd lap it up and print just about anything he wanted. He could control every word of their stories just by being a good...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?